This is Muckspout.
Welcome to Muckspout Podcast. This is Darren.
And I'm Eric. Today we were going to dive into another subject from the 90s, the OJ Simpson Bronco chase.
Yeah, I love that. It's a lovely Ford model from that year, I think. It was driven by Al Cowlings, if you remember Al Cowlings.
I haven't even thought about that somebody else drove it.
Yeah, because he was on the phone and there was these famous words where he was like, this is AC, damn it. Like, everybody was supposed to know who the fuck he was. Like,
All right, I'm going to be stupid real quick. Who is he?
I don't know.
Oh.
No, I think he played football too.
I was going to say, I was thinking he might be football.
Yeah, I mean, he played football too, but nobody gave two shits about him. Nobody still gives two shits about him. He's probably dead.
I forgot he was even in the car, so.
Most people forgot he was alive, so there you go. But it was a fun time. I can remember pretty well. Where were you in that time?
So I was working at Venture.
What the fuck is that? No, I'm just kidding.
Was Venture nationwide?
Is
that local? I don't even know.
I don't know. Somebody, if you want to comment,
yeah,
and let us know if Venture.
Let us know if you had a Venture by you when you were a child.
Yeah, basically, Venture was a store where they were so smart with their colors that they went with black and white.
Like a zebra.
Like a zebra.
Zebras are cooler than horses. Yeah. Venture was cooler than Kmart.
Yeah. Venture.
Do they still have Kmart's? Was that nationwide?
yeah, Kmart's was. I'm pretty sure. But Ventures were freaking crazy. Like, I remember the sign just being like, it was just like wavy, sideways, or not wavy, but just sideways.
That's
black
like classic
lines.
referee.
Yeah. Anyway, but OJ, speaking of black and white, let's talk about OJ
and AC. They were. Yeah, I took a break and everybody was gathered around watching it, and I was like, who the fuck's OJ? Yeah. Is that murderer?
You're like, who? What? They're like, he played football in the 70s. You're like, football? The fuck's football?
Actually, my first question was when I walked in was these people had been sitting there watching it for a bit, and I'm like, how come those police cars don't speed up?
Yeah, it was like the slowest chase ever. Yeah, it was so bad, and it was during my birthday was the next day. I remember that. So
considerate of OJ to not overshadow your birthday.
Yeah. Well, that's why he did it on the 17th. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure of it. So he planned the murders to set up that way. Not that he did it. And then when he gets there,
I forget that he didn't get convicted for that.
No,
because he went to jail. So like I don't even think about it anymore.
He goes to jail like 90 years later, but for like it was like somebody stole one of his memorabilia or something, and he went back and took the painting
for them, and then got put in jail.
And it was all a setup. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. But I can say this about the OJ chase. The worst thing about it was that it messed up the Rockets Knicks game that I was watching, and they put it in a little corner there because it was during the NBA playoffs, and not that I cared about either of the teams.
So it was like picture in picture?
So they did it picture in picture. Back in the day, in the 90s, we used this thing called picture in picture.
Yeah. I forgot that.
Yeah,
I haven't even thought about
nobody uses
so
picture in picture anymore. Where you like you could bring like one station up in the corner and then watch the big station in the...
I don't know why that got abandoned. Picture in picture?
No, yeah, you could probably...
Because I could play a video game and then have in the corner like my favorite show.
Yeah.
And the one TV... I don't know if it was a TV or maybe it was something like a TiVo or something. But like I could actually pick which audio I got.
Yeah.
So I could be playing a video game and I could actually be watching something like...
Right, yeah.
Can't do that anymore.
No, was abandoned. I guess nobody cared. I used to sell shit out of it, though. I'd be like, hey, this got picture in picture.
Yeah.
You got two pictures on one.
It's better. Yeah. It's good for a lot of things, not just watching Bronco chases.
Yeah, you know what it was great for is like if you wanted to watch something and then like you kind of wanted to watch porn also, and there was people.
It was easy to exit that picture in picture.
Right, exactly. And then there was people you knew in the other room, so you could kind of, as soon as the like moans came, you're like, oh, wow, audio's off. That's the small picture, So yeah, it was good for that. But
that wasn't a true story because your whole family was always in the same room.
I know. All we did was watch movies. My dad would run a movie every day of the week. So.
He did always know about the movies that were out. And
Oh yeah. He
was always
in
giving
'94. We probably, what was
recommendations.
that, like Under Siege was probably like, we probably watched Under Siege 20 times or something.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I remember from that whole time frame was just like everything was really just messed up. But I remember a big time, and this doesn't really have anything to do with the Bronco chase, but Norm Macdonald got fired from Saturday Night Live during that time because he kept making the OJ jokes, and the guy that was running Saturday Night Live, or one of the, I don't know, big
Lorne?
or NBC, one of the big wigs at NBC, not Lorne. Lorne liked him, told him he wasn't funny, and that he was going to be let go because he wasn't funny. So yeah, I remember he got fired because he
20 years later, he makes his whole shtick not being funny.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, well, he was, even back then. I remember him saying, like, he was like, Norm's, cool, and he was just like, what did he say? Oh, he was being interviewed by Letterman, and Letterman asked him, he was like, well, what happened? He said it wasn't funny, and he was like, well, did you tell him that you are, or whatever, and he was like, no, people have their own opinions, like, like he was like, I thought I was funny, yeah, but and the OJ stuff was hilarious every time he did it. So yeah, it's kind of crazy to think though, all those years later. Now he's even out of jail. He's not even in jail for the other thing. Yeah, so I mean the whole everything during that time was all.
How long did the Bronco chase last?
It seemed like a long time.
It did. Like, it was at least, like, that
Like,
night.
they went, like, from his palatial estate to, like, God, where did they go? I'm not even sure where they ended up.
And they, like, followed the speed limit.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
That was what was super weird, because they call it a chase, but it was more like a parade, or, like they were just kind of following, but, like, chase implies some sort of speed and real pursuit.
Right, yeah. True. It was very highly watched, and
Also,
I actually just kind of looked it up. It was 45 minutes, about 45 minutes. That's a long ass police chase.
That was out by L.A.?
Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like there should have been more going on in L.A.? Does it say how many cop cars there were? Because it feels like there was, like, 20 cop cars in my mind when I picture it.
It was a lot. There was probably like 20. There was probably like drugs, loot,
Yeah.
and all kinds of shit going on because all they were caring about was this. And then he left the Bronco, and then he like stayed in his house for like an hour. Like it was like like he went crazy basically. I mean, he went crazy before.
Yeah.
If
Things were super normal for him.
Yeah.
But that
yeah.
day,
Nothing really, was bothering him up to then.
the Bronco chase really shook him up.
When the cops came after him, that's when everything went to shit. And he sat there with a picture of his family for like an hour before he went outside and the police got him. That's what happened.
Like, that would not happen for anybody like that.
Oh, hell no. No, you would not.
Do they follow you in the car to your house and let you go in and
Yeah.
sit for an hour with a photograph?
That's just crazy.
If that was you, it wouldn't be me. But if it was you, a cop car would have come flying from the side and, like,
Right, yeah.
smashed in half
Wouldn't
of your
be
car.
you. It wouldn't be you. Yeah.
Then they would have, the cops would have swarmed around your car, and that would have been after a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Like,
it would be done.
It wouldn't follow you home and make sure that
Especially in a 1994, I'm taking it was probably a 94 Ford frickin' Bronco. Like, those weren't exactly stellar speed demon cars.
No.
Like, and I don't think it had, like, great handling where you couldn't fishtail the shit. And they just followed. Just followed him, Not gonna shoot OJ. Don't want to murder a potential murderer. Like...
well, they might hit AC.
Yeah, that's true. That's probably why everybody was worried about Al Cowlings. Now I need to know who Al Cowlings was. Later on, actually, they did on Seinfeld. They did a chase with, I think it was his attorney. Well, it was actually like, I think Kramer was the one in the Bronco, and his attorney was a guy that was supposed to be Johnny Cochran.
Oh.
Yeah, like, I mean, he wasn't, of course, but Oh, now this is interesting.
Oh.
I did look up Al Cowlings. He is still alive. And he was born June 16th.
Oh.
This was the day after his birthday.
The day after his birthday. He's driving, being a pal.
Yeah.
Driving his friend OJ
being
Simpson.
a good friend to good old OJ. He was a close friend to OJ. I think they're still friends.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks like that's what it seems like.
That's the shit that bonds you, though.
Yeah. Murder. I'm sorry. No,
I'm at the Bronco chase.
Yeah. The Bronco chase, definitely. You sit in a Bronco for 45 minutes with anybody,
Yeah.
and you're going to be bonded.
Sparks are going to fly.
Yeah. There's a love connection.
Plus, you got AC and OJ.
I doubt anybody ever actually called him AC, though. Like, who calls the guy AC? Al Cowlings.
AC Slater?
Yeah, AC Slater, yeah, but...
Air conditioning?
Okay, what did AC stand for AC Slater?
All cool.
All cool Slater.
Yeah.
But still, that's his like, probably first and middle name there. Like, why would you call somebody, like, AC? Like, that'd be like me calling you EC. What up, EC?
That's probably happened before.
I never called you EC.
Well, not you,
Ecock.
I've gotten E.
Bitch.
That's probably happened.
Yeah. And I guess it doesn't really matter. You call me Funk. So, yeah.
What's in the name,
it does
really?
nothing, yeah. I don't think there's much more to say about that. It was just a shitty night.
And like the worst chase of all time.
The worst chase of all time. They got OJ. I guess they didn't get him. He just, after an hour, decided he could come out.
They saw him home nice and safely.
Yeah, exactly.
On every fucking TV.
Yeah, and it was everywhere. It's probably like...
it feels like it was longer than 45 minutes,
rated higher than
but
the
only
Super Bowl.
because it was on...
For that long.
Like, it was on that whole time. Like, we watched it live, but then it also, like, aired constantly after that.
Right.
Like...
They kept showing it, and it was on the news, and on... and then, of course, Seinfeld brings it up years later.
I'm sure they had to have touched on it, like, in Simpsons or something at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Too.
Everybody had something about it. Well, the whole trial and everything, it consumed 94.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a murder that happened, so, like, if you're going to talk lightly about any part of it, the Bronco is, like, the part that you talk about.
Yes.
Maybe the glove. But not like the stabby.
No, you don't talk about that part, yeah. Or Kato. Well, Kalen. Well, a lot of people talk about him. The other thing I can remember is Judge Ito.
Yeah.
And remember, like...
the Dancing Itos.
The Dancing Itos on Leno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything went nuts in 1990. I guess not really nuts compared to...
Yeah. The event that sparked it.
Yeah.
But, like, even, like, as far as, like, legacies go, the Kardashians came from that.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Dude got his fame from being part of that trial. And here they are.
Now, just, like, still, like, we're still being
we're still
horrified.
It's like we're still in this nightmare of the OJ trial.
I know they did a series on it, on the OJ trial.
Yeah, I never did watch that.
Never watched it. I think Cuba Gooding Jr. played OJ, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah, which is perfect because Cuba Gooding Jr. murdered women too.
No.
So
their hearts.
They're
murdered their hearts.
Yeah, murdered their
Not
hearts.
literally.
Yeah, no. Yeah. But yeah, it was a really weird time for that whole year, just dealing with the whole OJ thing.
So when did OJ play?
He was in the 70s, probably early 80s. I think he might have retired.
So
he was
like
a hell of a running back. And the other thing was, before all this went down, the Naked Gun movies.
Yeah,
he was like.
That was probably like the thing that I knew OJ Simpson from. Honestly,
right? Yeah, when you were a sports fan.
I'm not a sports person, and he hadn't even been playing sports in 15 years or so. Mm-hmm. So my OJ knowledge was from the Naked Gun movies, which aren't a thing anymore.
No. Good ass movies though.
Yeah.
Great movie, and he was hilarious in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it was funny because he was always getting murdered. Like he was always. Remember when he fell off the?
Yeah.
So you know, it's almost like they knew.
You'd think he'd be better at it.
You really would. You really would. I mean,
actually, he got away with it.
yeah.
You should.
I guess you really can't. Say, if
You
you're,
need
I mean, allegedly.
He needed to get better at stealing sports memorabilia.
Yeah.
Like he's no
That's
Thomas
what
Crown.
he's no good. Yeah, he's no Thomas Crown, but he is excellent at murder. Like, yeah, maybe he was just doing that. Like, maybe that was character acting. Like,
He's like,
he was.
that's like Hall of Fame, like top 3 murderers, really.
Yeah, honestly, I can't think of too many that got off like he did.
Especially that you like know. I mean, there's always like Jack the Ripper or whatever.
But nobody ever caught him.
You don't know who that even is.
Yeah, that's probably
But you basically got him,
Yeah, this is
Senator
like,
Kennedy,
right, yeah,
and then who? Like,
and then and the Clintons. That's it.
oh, you and Pizzagate again. We need to do a Pizzagate episode.
Pizzagate? That would be pretty great. Yeah. That was freaking crazy. Yeah. You know who's really bad at murder?
Who?
Epstein. Because not only does he get caught, but he kills himself.
Or, wait, did he kill people?
No.
He didn't even
He
kill
was
himself.
like a racist. Or a rapist. I said racist.
He didn't even kill himself.
No. Well, yeah. Once again, the Clintons.
All right, I think we're getting off topic, so I guess we could wrap up the Bronco chase.
Yeah, I think that was a good topic, Eric. I'm glad you brought that up.
Everyone, kiss your loved ones.
Yeah.
Drive home, stare at a picture of them.
Yeah. If you're ever in a high-speed chase, slow down.
Yeah.
Take it about 45 minutes, then go home.
Call the police and let them know who
Call
you're
the
with.
police. Yeah.
And
let them know who you're with. If they don't recognize who you are, yell at them.
and then probably if you get away with things, like don't go steal shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's the moral of this whole story.
You already did all right.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and look for us on social media.